Yo, what's up, girl? Yeah, you as a part of my dreams. I'm walking through them all day long. Hey, can I see your feet, by the way? I bet you got some pretty toes. Don't be shy. Oh, you want a tip for feet? Oh, come on now. I mean, I got money. Money ain't no problem. Oh, you really not gonna show me your feet, huh? Damn. What about them titties? Can I see those titties, though? Alright then. Damn, am I the only person in your camera? I don't like nobody else in here talking. It's just me. You must not be that popular. Oh, don't get mad at me. I'm just saying. So you're not gonna show me your feet? That's kind of like my fetish, and I just, really like pretty toes. I mean, you can't just show me like one toe. I'm just playing with you. Don't worry about it. So what's your name? What's your real name? Okay. I just want to get to know you, the real you. So where you live at? Oh, for real? I used to live over there. I'll come visit you. For real? I'll come see you. Oh, I mean, I got money. I can tip you, but I'm just saying. Show me what I'm working with first. Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. Don't block me. You gonna block me. Don't block me, girl. Nah. Fuck you then. Hello, this is Taja Ethereal with the brand new podcast called Shit Guys Say to Camgirls, sponsored by Bolin Models, and our very first guest is Naomi Courtney, cam model, also a Bolin model, and just go on and say hello. Go on and get in there, girl.
Hi. I did. This is fun.
Yeah, you probably didn't even know. Like, you may have known, but I probably didn't even tell you what the name of the podcast was, and you were willing to jump in there.
No, I love it. I'm just like going through my head thinking like, shit people have said to me. I'm loving it. I love it.
Well, what I've been doing for a little while is I've been hyping up the hashtag on social media quite a bit, but I'm a little late getting it started. Like, I've been stalking a couple of episodes so far, but I have the domain name. We're on SoundCloud, by the way. So yeah, it's called ShitGuysSayToCamgirls.
Yes, I'm gonna follow you and start doing that hashtag. I love it.
But first of all, it's not gonna just be like a podcast. Like, I'm not even really sure what the format is gonna be. It's just
I'm in love. I think this is awesome. I think this is gonna be a cool thing.
Yeah, so it's not like we're gonna just talk about it. We're not gonna just trash guys. We're not gonna put down
No. I love guys. Hey,
customers.
I love guys.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love my customers. I love them all, but
Yeah,
sometimes they're crazy.
So awesome.
So yeah, if anyone when you guys start listening to it, you can actually find us directly if you go to ShitGuysSayToCamgirls.com. It's right there on SoundCloud. The tentative schedule is to have them released every Monday. For now, I might change that up in the future just to see how interest goes and everything like that. And again, this is Taja Ethereal. I'm talking to Naomi Courtney, and yeah, I'm so excited. I'm happy to have you as our first guest. And I hope this wasn't too late. I know this is like a busy night. This is Oscars night, but I didn't watch. Did you watch?
No, I'm thrilled. I love it. I just had like such a cool night watching the Oscars, and now I get to talk to you. It's perfect.
Aw, thank you. So, who actually won the best? I didn't even watch. Who won the best feature movie or whatever it is?
Actually, I think it Well, if it isn't going on now, it might have been going on while we were testing, so I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take you
No,
around.
you're good. Like my mom said, my mom was like, "Oh, I'm not even gonna watch it because they're gonna tell me all about it the next day," and I'm like, "You're kind of right." So
Yeah, I usually only pay attention for the fashion.
I DVR, it's gonna tell me.
Oh, okay. I got
Yeah,
it. I
good.
got it. Well, yeah, like I didn't watch it earlier. Like I'm a diehard Walking Dead fan, and so usually what I do like during Sundays is like I do like live tweeting from the Bowling Models Twitter account, and like get people interested and so forth. And but I probably don't do it as much during The Walking Dead, but I go like ape shit crazy during Game of Thrones. It's ridiculous.
I love that. I'm not a big Game of Thrones or Walking Dead fan, but I love the
What?
live tweeting. I live tweet college football,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's kind of my jam when I'm on Twitter at work. So
Just college football. You don't ever do the NFL professional.
I okay. I don't find or NFL to
Uh
be
oh.
as chaotic
Mhm.
as college football. College football, anything can happen,
Mhm.
and NFL, I feel like is too structured. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my thing about my short version of
See
about that.
the way you feel about the NFL. That's kind of how I feel about the NBA because I'm all about college, ACC, NCAA. I'm all about that. But
My
yeah.
dad's that way too, actually. He will
Mhm.
not watch pro basketball at all, really, but
Mhm.
loves college basketball, is obsessed with college basketball. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So let me ask you before we just start rambling because like I said
Yeah,
this has
sorry. We're just
this
like,
has like no format whatsoever, like not right now. It's just like kind of like to get started, like our feet wet, test the waters and so forth. So tell me a little bit like how long have you been a cam model?
I have been camming for, God, I think 4 or 5 years now.
You
It's
don't
been
even
a,
remember.
I know, I'm like, oh Lord. I gotta look now, but it's been a while. It's been at least 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. 4 years.
What site would you say out of like the 4 years? Because I know that you're on you're like not a hopper, but you do split camming like you said before, right?
hmm
What would you
I
say
think
your majority, the one you spend the majority of your time on? Which one do you do?
the majority of my time, or I guess overall, like in the
Mhm.
4 years, the majority of my time has been on cams.com or Streamray
Yeah.
is probably the one I've done the most.
Mhm.
Uh, but right now, the majority of my time is spent on, oh God, now I'm not even gonna remember the name. Streammate. Streammate is the one I'm spending the most of my time on now.
Yeah, like you
I
camps.com I
just
used to
started
be on that
though,
one a
like
little
a
bit.
couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We talked about that or I think I've read your post about it. So you got started. Like you're also in Bullet Models and
Yes.
you're on Streamate. Are you just so I'm not assuming, but did you do the hourly program thing that they just launched?
Not yet. I have, okay, so I was before working probably like 6 hours a week, maybe max.
Mm.
And then to jump from 6 to 20 is quite a gap. And I mean, a lot of that's health issues, but it's also like laziness issues, to be honest. So,
Mhm.
yeah, the jump has been quite great. So I haven't made it quite to the 20 hours yet to apply, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I'm still working at it. It's been 2 weeks since my first attempt, and every week it's like 15 hours,
Mhm.
11 hours or whatever. So,
It does take it really does take discipline to get on some campsites, especially when it's like the free chat involved because you have to kind of condition
yes.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, not that StreamMate is bad in terms
Hmm.
of free chat. It's not like you're miserable and the guys aren't too mean. To be honest, I haven't had an experience where guys were terribly mean. And if they
Mm-mm.
are, you can just block them.
Yeah.
That's different than customer service that I've experienced before I started camming, where you
Hmm.
just have to take it. But it's super interesting because yeah, you have to sit in front of the computer and wait for hours. And even if you're not making money, you still have to sit there
Hmm.
for 4 hours a day or whatever. And yeah, that's not only mentally consuming, like it's hard on you mentally, but it's hard on you physically too, because you're just sitting there. It's not
Hmm.
good for your body.
Sometimes I crochet when I was
See,
just.
thinking that too. I'm like, maybe I should just start knitting or something again, just to like have something. I usually watch like game shows in the background, and then I talk about the game shows. I'm like, wow, that looks great. So that people think I'm like, oh, I'm talking about like something they're talking about.
What game shows do you watch? Which ones do you watch? What game shows do you watch when you're doing that?
I'm sorry?
What game shows do you watch? I'm curious.
The Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal. I love Let's Make a Deal. That's probably my favorite one because they're always so happy. Like no matter what, like
Aww, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
I love it. They're always so happy. So it's like, wow, yeah, you know, I just say stuff like that. Even if the room's totally empty, I'm like, wow, that looks great. Wow, so cool. You know.
That's funny because then the guys are like, so what? Why is this girl so happy?
Yeah, what is she talking about? Is she looking at somebody's dick?
Well, I had a guy one time I was knitting, like nothing in particular, but I was just doing like a train, and it was just one color, and there were some guys just sitting there like quiet, you know, the ones who don't talk, but they just sit there and they don't. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do my thing and knit, and then this guy he types, "Yo, that shit's ugly."
Oh my god.
And that's my voice. That's the voice. Like, of course, I couldn't hear him say that, but that's the voice that I'm going to apply to the comment. Like, yo, that shit's ugly. And so I'm like, okay. I hold it up and I'm like, why is it ugly? He says, because it's only one color. You got to make that. He said something about like, I don't want to say pop, but I have to remember. Like, he said something, you got to make it pop. And I'm like, what? So then, next thing you know, like, for me knitting, we start talking about coordinating colors. And then I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, he tips me like 10 gold for like tits.
I'd be like, thank you. I could buy some more yarn.
Yeah, he tipped me 10 gold, but he wanted to see my tits too. But I'm like, he's like, yo, that shit's ugly. I'm like, what? He was sitting in my room for like 20 minutes not talking. And I'm just like, do.
I have to say on token sites, the best money I make is usually when I'm doing something. Like I used to build like Gundams, if you know what that is, or like mechs, like little robots basically. Like I build like little robots and stuff on camera.
What's it called again?
What are you doing? Wow. And they like immediately are like, you're doing something, so I want to interrupt you. And like I feel like on token sites, I feel like I should learn how to juggle or something.
Hey, it could work.
It's the
topless
best.
Topless juggling. So wait, what do you call it again? You said they're called Gundams?
Gundam, yeah. They're Japanese. I guess they're not robots because you control them. You get in them like little planes and you do stuff. It has a long history from the 80s.
No.
Like anime. It's like an anime, like little statues from anime. I don't know.
That's something that's not been on my radar. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I have so many. Like, and and when I was on token sites, sometimes you get bored, so I can't juggle, so I just build these tiny things on camera, and people are like, "What are you doing? I want to know." And they're like, "I want to disrupt you from doing that thing." You know,
let me see this. Said like, "Yo, that shit's ugly."
I'm not, and I was like, "Well, I didn't make it. I'm just putting it together." Right?
So what did you before you, like 4 years or 5 years before you became a cam model, what were you doing? What kind of customer service job were you doing before?
Oh, I was a manager for retail, 2 different retail stores for several years. I was reasonably successful at it. I helped set up different stores and all that crap. I hated the carrot dangle in front of you of, oh, if you do this, you jump through these hoops, you'll get your own store, because I really wanted to be my own store manager. And, you know, they were like, oh, if you do this, I moved to a different state, you know, and worked for a completely different store, you know, in order to jump through the hoops to get my own store. And it was miserable. And I was just like, I hate everything. I quit. So.
Oh, that sucks. Well, yeah, like the whole thing back and forth. It
sucks, but I'm happy now, and I have a lot of that background because I went to school for it. And so I have a lot of that background of like sales and marketing and like, you know, branding and all that stuff that I get to try to apply to this. So it's
play around with it, yeah.
Yeah, I got to where I am today by going on that journey. I can't complain one bit.
So how long do you think excuse me, how long do you think you would be a cam model for? Like, how far do you want to go with being a camera? Do you want to like make this a career change, or are you just doing this like, well, you've been doing it for 5 years, like,
yeah, it is my career right now. I'm very happy and always want to go further in what I consider my career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess the same way with when I worked retail. When I take something on, it's me, and like I love my job, and I'm kind of obsessed with my job.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just like, oh man, this is my work, and I'm just, oh, I gotta do
time, yeah.
for the work. Yeah, I love that. I love work. I love working. So I love this job. I love all the elements from it. When I'm not working, I'm writing down stuff, going, oh, I can market this way, and do this and do that. I'm just always thinking, dreaming of it. I really do love this job. So, of course, time may have a different change, and I may change over time and change my mind about this career. Not that I'm gonna like, oh, I hate cam modeling, I think it's weird or something. It just may be that I physically can't do it anymore, or I may be too old to do it. I may not look the same way I look.
Oh, come on. There are people who are still like in their 60s that are doing this. So,
I'm sorry?
There are women, and I guess you could say there's some men, but there's a lot of women who are like in their 60s.
Oh, yeah.
That are still doing this. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And, maybe once I get to that point, I will still be like, no, I could still do this. But I feel like, I guess now I look back when I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do this forever, and then now I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that forever. So, so you just never know. So I'm preparing for that. I guess after this, if there's an after this, where I'm not successful and just get to live on my savings type of shit, I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of background in apparel, so maybe I'll open my own store. It'll probably be online because retail is dying. But
yeah,
maybe open my own store, and sew. I can do a lot of sewing because I have that background too.
So you said you actually write your ideas down. You're saying you write it, like physically write it down?
Yes,
That's so
I
good.
still have like a real planner. I'm not the kind of I can't do the computer, like type in your phone type of thing, except for alarms to remind me to like take medicines.
I've only started doing that in like the last year, because I've been at this like twice as long as you. But I still like talking to like new people that I've never met before, people who may have not been at it as long, because you're always like picking up new ideas and you're always learning something new. You know what I mean? And it's nice that you said that you write things down, because some people think I'm weird because I have notebooks from almost 11 years ago. So whenever I like have like a dry spell, when I can't come up with an idea, marketing plan or something, I'll go back to my old notebooks and I'll remember like websites. I'll remember websites that I placed ads on 11 years ago.
Oh my God, yes.
And then I'll go back and look and I'm like, damn, that ad is still there. It's been indexed. And then I'll place new ads on it. And then I'll get like new ideas that I can go back to from 11 years ago.
No, I love that. I love that. Like I was telling a friend of mine who's the same way, like she journals everything and saves all her journals, that some people sell their journals on eBay. Like not just like lists like us. Like I just write. I'm an obsessive person who writes lists. But like these people are like, today blah 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 blah. Like they write a journal about their life
and they sell it.
Yes, they sell the journals on eBay. And I guess for some people that's cool. Like and I'm not knocking that at all.
What kind of journals are they? Like, what are they saying? Like, are they like how-to journals, giving tax advice, giving marketing insider tips? Like, what kind of, what are we talking about?
Like journals about their day-to-day life. Today I ate a cookie. Like,
and somebody like, buys that shit?
Yes, on eBay. Like, look it up. Like, people were buying that stuff, and I've told everybody. I've told my mom that people were doing that. I told my friend who was a real journaler, like me and you. And my mom and my friend were the same way I was. I'm way too insecure to sell my journal. Like, even the stuff when I was a kid, it was like, today I ate a cookie. Like, I'd be like, they're going to judge me for eating a cookie,
Well,
like, I would think that every little element of my life, they'd be like, this bitch ate a cookie this day. What the fuck?
She eats cookies every day.
I'm too
that greedy cookie eating bitch. No, but like, but think about it though. Like, if you ever wanted to write a book, or because I write a lot. Like, I write, like, my head explodes from writing sometimes. So I'm thinking like, well, shit, maybe I need to start writing. I'm doing this all wrong, so I need to hit up eBay, is what you're saying.
You should write a fake journal, girl. You should write a fake journal, age it a little bit with some tea. Like, you know how they tea dye pages? Look that up. like write a real, like get buy a real old looking journal, like write some T-dot, like write some say T, and like a whole like really complicated story and sell that. People will be like, oh my god, and then
Oh my goodness, you are on to something. You are shady. I love it
in a
though.
flea market or something. Say you found in a flea market, girl. And people will be like, oh my god, this lady finds all these flea market journals and they're so crazy.
Oh my gosh. So I definitely, if I do it, I can't use the name Taja Ethereal because then someone will out me as a played,
Right.
lying.
A
But I'll
whole
come up
name,
with a
a whole
new,
life.
some new name, some like crazy name, some moniker. Speaking of crazy names, like you and I joke back and forth a lot about Twitter handles, like the weird names that you
Yes,
see on
we
Twitter.
do. I love different Twitter handles. They make my life so great.
What is like remind me again because I can't think of right now because I'm drawing a blank. But like some of the crazy ones,
Yeah,
we're not talking about like the at me like okay because like at Bolden Models or at Naomi
no,
Court.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the
Like
one that
people's
precedes
actual
that.
names. Like you can have like I guess to explain to everybody else, you can have your own name that's like for mine, Naomi_Court, but I
Mm-hmm.
can have like the baddest bitch or whatever as my actual display name or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, or like okay, wait, I saw one recently. Now it's coming back to me. It was
See,
like
there you go.
it was a thoughtless hoe, but it was thoughtless like THOTLES.
Yes.
Thoughtless hoe. Like how you a holeless hoe basically is what it says. But like I try to like I've thought about taking like I don't know what I would do with it, but like a list or something like of my favorites one or collecting them or something. I don't know
I
what the
write
hell I
them
would do with
down
it.
I have a journal, girl. I just write them all down about anybody that says out loud. I don't write them off from Twitter. I just say anything anybody says out loud. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good. Or I haven't turned in my head a lot of football ones. I want football ones because that's what I talk about a lot. Saban Thick is the one I
Mm-hmm.
was talking about before, and that makes me so mad that I didn't think of that.
Saban Thick.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
Or
Yeah.
Thick Saban, because his name's
Okay.
Nick Saban. His name's Nick Saban. He's the head coach for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and he's a legend. Like he is probably their best head coach ever. Like he wins all the time.
You
So
really are
Nick
insane.
Saban is like it. And he won this year too. So when somebody
Okay.
did Nick Saban, I was so mad. I was like, damn it. I'm not a
So
Crimson Tide fan, for anybody wondering, but
is that the ones where they always say like what is it, Woe Tide or what is it they said down in
Roll Tide, yes,
Roll
Roll Tide.
Tide?
I'm from, yeah, you're from the South too, aren't you?
Yeah,
No,
I was raised in South Florida. Yeah.
South
Yeah,
Florida.
I can
Okay,
hear
okay.
that. I can hear your I can hear that twang in your accent. Your
It's bad, yeah, it's real bad. I have so many guys who are like, "Where are you from? You sound like you're from the South," and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I change it up because, like, sometimes people want to hear it, and then other people. My accent is crazy. It's like all over the place. But sometimes, like, if I'm camming or when I'm on the phone, I'll just do it up like, "Hi, how you doing? Yeah." You just try to like, because they want to
Yeah.
hear like a sweet Southern voice. So, and then you get off the phone, you're like, "Oh, motherfucker, getting on my goddamn nerves."
You're like, what is this?
I could cuss you out Southern too, Southern style. So don't you worry about that. Don't worry
Yes.
about that now.
Right. Because I'm just not used to it. Like the only times I've been to the north, everybody's been like your accent though, and I'm like your accent though. So
Like
like
I live back and forth between the
so
Northeast and the
I love
Southeast,
it.
so I'm up and down the East Coast like every
Oh,
couple of
I love
months and stuff.
it.
It's okay. It's exhausting sometimes, but So let me go ahead and just because I'm reading at the
Yeah,
hashtag shit
right.
guys say to camgirls, and I just wanted to like because these are like real comments that people have made, and then some of my cam girl friends have actually shared this one with me. And one of the ones that like just blows my mind. Just read this one. Just check this one out. So this is what a
Okay.
guy typed me. He said, "If I was your man," to remind you, this I don't hear this, but like this is what in my mind. This is the voice that I apply to
Okay.
these fucking dudes. Okay, so
Okay. I got
if I was your man, if I was your man, I'd fuck you so good, you wouldn't even be a cam girl no more.
Oh damn. Right.
No, this is like so funny to me because they think that like that's the only reason why we're here is because we want to get fucked, and that's all we need is somebody to give us the good dick, and then all of a sudden all our prayers will be answered.
Change your life, pay your bills for years, girl.
Yeah, but like, yeah, if I was your man, I'd fuck you so good. And when you see stuff like that, I just roll my eyes like, oh, okay.
Oh
here
my
we
God,
go.
yeah. You're like, but does that dick pay bills? Can I go to the electric company and just slap that dick on the counter and be like, there?
Okay, here's another one. This is when someone else, another cam model, she put this one on here under the hashtag, and it was like she says that she was hanging out in her chat room, and then someone typed in, "This is hilarious. This kills me." I'm like, this one fucking took me out. It says, okay, again, a voice that I'm going to apply to it. It says, "Mom, you said you needed to borrow my laptop to look at Pinterest."
Oh, no.
Someone was coming in her room, and I guess they were like teasing her. And by any means, she doesn't look like matronly or like a mature cam model, but
you just didn't lie.
I probably would have just looked at that like, what?
Oh my God. Like, go to bed, son.
Yeah, but like someone just randomly types that in, and you're like, what the
I
fuck?
hate those sort of things. Like, just ask, dude. Just be like, hey, I want this kind of role play. Are you chill with that? Like,
You know what? That's a good idea. That might have been what he was doing. Oh my gosh, that's right. So what kind of like because I noticed I've seen your Twitter, and we've talked before because I did like a little article about you. You work on strip chat too, right?
I have, yeah. I'm kind of taking a break from it because I'm trying to really focus on StreamMate right now. But yeah, I love strip chat. It's fantastic, and I recommend it to a lot of people who now use it and have a lot of success with it. So yeah, strip chat.
I've seen a little because I do like have a few referrals, and I'm not saying it's a lot because like for the Bullet Models referral program, but like
Sure.
it's consistent. Like it consistently adds up like every day or so. There's like referrals coming in from strip chat, something, and like people must be making some money on it. And I would think it would be like a good strip chat split cam site.
Yeah, I think especially in terms of their support, they're the kind of people you can message on Twitter and be like, hey, I have this issue, and they'll take care of it the same day. Or they'll be like, oh, hey, do you want us to promote you here, here, and here? And they're really the kind of people who will
I've noticed that.
They really are looking out for their models. And they have like groups where you can like retweet everybody, you know, in order to help each other. And those girls make their own group so they can talk about their own personal issues without the strip chat admins in that group. You know, it really is a close-knit community, and they're fantastic. When I'm on strip chat, all the guys are really respectful and nice and tip, and it's a really cool site. It's really cool. I really like it.
Okay. Well, no, what I was wondering, because my mind like wanders around a lot. I noticed that like you do a lot of fetishes. Like, what do you say what your specialty is? What kind of things do you get into?
Sure. Probably my most common fetishes are like, I do a lot of role play type of stuff. I do a lot of daddy stuff, to be honest. That sort of role play, or teacher student. That's a really common thing. I also, aside from those kind of fetishes, I do a lot of high heels. I have a terrible assortment of stripper heels.
I think I saw that. I think I saw some of your pictures.
In all wild heights. So I do a lot of that. I do a lot of deep throat stuff and gagging and stuff like that. So that's probably the range right now of my fetishes that I do normally.
That's
the most
cool.
common.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I think it's good to be well-rounded, because some people, I think, enter it and they get the idea that they think that, like, if they're going to do fetish, that they have to be the goddess. They have to do goddess worship. They have to just do femdom. I think it's probably a little better to be more well-rounded and have a few vanilla, middle-of-the-road type things you can do, because sometimes it pulls more money, I think.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that, because Dom on cam is just not my thing. Like, that's what scared me off StreamMate to begin with in the first place. My first show on StreamMate, when I had my first account, was a Dom show, and I just did not know what to do. Because, and then, like, a dom show with like a real person who's really with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have a partner who's into dom or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Like I could totally do that.
What do you think was the problem with the streaming? What kind of things did he want, and where do you think it went wrong?
I don't know what he wanted. I guess
That's the problem.
you just don't know what he wants, and so
Mm-hmm.
you're like, and I'm not a dominant personality
Mm-hmm.
in general. I guess I am, but I'm not. I know what I want, but I don't know what this person wants. So, you just get in your head, and I got super in my head, and it just scared the shit.
Communication got lost. Like what we were talking about the other day on the boards, we were talking about how so many people don't like jerk off instructions, but then there are a lot of girls, like if you look on Cooks for Sale, you don't like it? There are people who make like bank on jerk off instructions.
And I don't how. I don't know how.
I guess they're the cock whisperers. They're the true cock whisperers. I don't have a problem with it, but as long as there is audio involved, whether it's on the phone or if it's cam to cam with audio.
Okay.
Because that way I can listen to the guy breathing and I can kind of get a rhythm together. Yeah. But the ones who annoy me with jerk off instructions or JOI or what do they call it? Jerk off motivation are the ones who say they want a countdown. Because then I'm starting to think like, you really want me to count down from 10, dude, and you mean to tell me that you're gonna pop at 1? And we both know that you're not gonna fucking bust your neck by the time I hit 1, because it's like you start counting and the rhythm is going, and you're like 10, 9, 8, 8.5.
Right, and they're like, cool, boop, and they hang up or whatever.
Or you get to 1 and they're still like they still haven't popped. So I always feel a little silly when they want to count down, but as long as there's audio, I don't really have too much a problem with it. But
that's interesting. I think that may be the difference, because I'm not a very good phone or cam to cam person.
Yeah, I love that shit.
No, it's just a real anxiety thing for me, I think. Like, it's much easier for me to talk to an image on the screen or my reflection in the screen than it is for me to talk to like someone I can see, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I think a lot of people have run into that. I realize
maybe disconnect.
Yeah, that might be the difference.
I'm really about that now. That's fascinating.
Sorry, you were cutting up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I think because a lot of cameras like will contact me wanting to know about how to break into phone sex, and I never really thought about that, because I can take a phone call or cam to cam and have the guy like breathing heavy in my ear, and it doesn't faze me at all. Like I have to hit my mute button to stop laughing sometimes.
Oh.
It's so,
yeah.
Sometimes they sound like they're having heart attacks when they're coming, but I wouldn't know what to do. Like I feel like I do better when there's audio and I can see them. But
that's interesting, because mine's the complete opposite. I feel way more comfortable when they're typing and not when I can hear them, because I think when I can hear them, it just the anxiety's just like comes up. Like,
well, I'm blind as fuck. I can't, if they're typing, it's so weird, because like I have to like if you're in the middle of your thing and you're looking for it, I'm squinting, and I'm like, I know I can't look sexy right now, squinting my eyes off, like, what did he type? What does it say? Turn around, let me see that ass. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll turn around now.
No, I know, because it's like I'm kind of the same way, because as soon as like I cam on a bed, so as soon as I got a certain distance from the screen trying to do something, like some campsites are not real forgiving in terms of font, so they say something.
Cams is the worst.
And you have
Cams
to
is the
stand
worst.
up from where you were, or like turn around and focus on what they said, and you're like, oh, okay.
No, I was saying like cams.com, when it comes to the font size, they are probably the worst, I thought.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've been on there, but they are the worst. The font size. I actually fell off the bed one time trying to lean into the screen to see what the fuck this guy was trying to tell me to do on cams.com.
It's a bit better now since I redid the whole thing. I think it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been on there in a long time, but yeah, it used to be so bad. I remember like just leaning in and I'm trying to see what this guy's saying. And boom, I leaned a little too far, and I'm kind of top heavy. I got these big old titties, so boom, hit the floor.
I've had those kind of cam disasters before. I feel like everybody has. I need to bring that thread back up.
What thread about?
Oh yeah. That's like weird cam things or like cam disasters or that sort of thing.
I'm thinking about one of mine. I broke a glass toy.
Oh no!
But not like it didn't hurt me, but like I was in like, you know, in the moment using it. Yeah. And let's just say my body squeezed it out, like catapulted it out.
Oh my god! Oh wow!
And it just shot right off the bed and hit the tile floors.
Wow!
And you can hear it breaking and everything, and I'm just lying there in the show, and I just like fell apart laughing, like fucking hell. But the guy, he was cool about it. I mean, I have other toys, but I had that one for a long time. I actually named that toy. It was one of my first toys that I had ever gotten, really? And I named it Senor Sherbet.
I love it. That's great.
He was orange and it was glass and it had like the fluid in it.
Yeah.
And it was a glow in the dark toy, and I've never been able to find anything like it again. So
that's amazing. That has a lot of features. That is so unique.
Yeah. Let's say a little prayer for Senor Sherbet.
Oh, remember him.
I haven't gotten any toys in a while. I'm like overdue.
Right.
What? Do you use
in memoriam in the Oscars since we were just watching it, right?
Oh yeah, they do have those little things like the people who passed in the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Gosh, I don't want to think about that. Anyways, well, I was going to ask you, like,
I'm right there with you.
Speaking of like weird toys,
yeah.
What's up with the? Do you have any of the bad dragon toys? I do
not. I'm actually really curious about the toys that like lay eggs, but that's not a bad dragon. That's a different brand. I can't remember. I'm super curious about those because I think that's so fun.
The ovulator or something like that.
Yeah, my dude's really interested in it, so.
That's kind of.
Not for me, for him. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a whole different beast, but yeah.
Go ahead with your bad stuff. No, but like I've been watching like, you know, the girls who do the ejaculating toys and the unicorn dicks and the dragon dicks and then the horse cocks that have like pre-made cum.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, animals in any way, shape, or form aren't really my thing. So
yeah, well, they get away. I guess they get away with it because they're mythical animals. Like that's how they do it on it's not considered bestiality, but they get away with it because it's like the mythical creatures and stuff.
Sure.
And it's not judgment, but it's just watching it. It's just blowing up. It's just like blowing up everywhere. Like if you go on Twitter, here's another thing I have about Twitter. It's like when I'm following someone, you think that like, oh, that person's gonna have like some interesting content.
Sure,
and, you know, maybe they have something that's like for sex workers' rights, and then like 3 days later, there's a fisting content video.
I think that's the most interesting thing about Twitter. I think like
I didn't know you was into that when I followed you. I didn't know.
You get the full breadth of somebody's life. Like you were like, oh wow, this person seems nice. Oh, here's them shoving something up their booty hole. Cool. You know, like
all right.
I put up with it to a certain degree. Like I get it. You're trying to sell content, and I'm on the same boat with you, girl. I'm trying to sell content too. So I'm gonna sell my promotional material.
Sometimes I feel like I've been like bamboozled or something because I'm like, oh, I thought she was gonna be like a jokester.
Like, we were just talking and you just showed me your booty hole.
Or you just did a butthole prolapse on me or something. Right? I'm like, girl, I did not know it was gonna get this serious. You didn't tell me that. You know. Well, I don't really, for me, I don't on my Twitter accounts, like I no longer show nudity, or I might show like boobs, cleavage.
I understand that 100% because you get like there are some people like you can see and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I get it, you're trying to sell your content. And then like you see a lot of like promoters or something like that where they're promoting accounts that are just like spam accounts, and you're like, oh, okay, this is a lot, and you're just like, mute, you know.
It gets me too much. Like I don't know what it is in me because I can get kind of get freaky and stuff. Like you were saying, like you do like a lot of deep throat shows, a lot of blowjob type shows. I do those as well. And
Sure.
here's the thing: I make custom videos, and I can get like real like nasty like spit videos and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But the second I watch another person, I cannot like if for instance, like if I went to like, let me see what Naomi's up to, and I'll go to your page, and then you'll have like a little snippet, a clip with like spit coming out of your mouth. I will have to click off. I can't watch other people
Sure.
doing it. I sometimes have a hard time watching myself when I'm editing a video, but I can do it live, like no problem.
Yeah, no, I could totally relate. Like, I really am the kind of person who just does, like, I guess that sounds weird, but I don't watch porn in my free time at all. Because it's just not interesting to me. Like, I just don't enjoy it. I don't know. Like, I do,
None?
but I don't want to watch porn. I don't know. It's weird. I totally get it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not that against it.
Maybe
There's some
me
stuff.
too, then. But yeah,
There's some stuff I do like, but I just don't like. I get real turned off, or like if I go to when I'm perving other girls on cam, which I do from time to time. I don't do it as much as I used
I think
to.
everyone does, yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes I get so fucking busy, but like. One of my favorites, I'm like, because I think she's wacky and she just like wilds out, you know. And I love the way I love this particular person because she just like cusses people the fuck out. But then I'll just call her out. I'll say her name, whatever. Fuck it. It's Ola 18 on Streammate.
I think I've vaguely heard of her, yeah.
Vaguely, girl, treat yourself. Next time, treat yourself to some entertainment. Like she is fucking a badass. But like Ola 18, like I can watch her like talk shit to them and be like cussing them out. She'll like pluck her camera when she gets mad at them and shit, and then they'll start tipping her money. But then like when I watch her do her deep throat, I'm like, oh, gotta go.
Yeah, it's so weird. I totally understand. I can't watch myself when I edit hardly. I just have to check to make sure like the sound is good, and then I have to like just watch it in like one thing without sound and be like, okay, cool, like it all looks good. You know.
Do you do a lot of customs? You do like so you're on Streammate right now. You're trying to put in more time to get to the hourly pay program. You want to get into that?
Exactly. Trying to do my
And what are your content sites? What sites do you put your content on?
Mini vids, clips for sale, and then a couple other like random things, but
okay. Yeah, ManyVids is really taking over. I was trying to catch one live one with one of our other bullet models, this Scarlet Raven, but I think it was canceled. It was supposed to be tonight.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was her, and like she was doing something called Cam Cabin. I want to see if I can get her on this podcast and then she can give me more information about it. What it was like a bunch of girls came together and they, because like more and more girls are doing this, where people are starting to like get together in their own little pods and they create their own little content, and they, instead of going to like these huge like AVNs, which is good, and then there's XBiz awards and stuff like that, they're creating their own events where they're getting together in different cities and making content. So like hers was hashtag Cam Cabin, and it's like I think it's a total of 5 girls including herself. Sammy Ross is one, and I can't remember, Vixen Fire and Scarlet Raven. I can't remember the other 2 girls, I'm really sorry, but they were supposed to do a ManyVids takeover tonight, and I was excited to watch that because I want to see what kind of stuff they would do, but it got canceled, so I'll check back with her.
Damn, yeah. I'd be really interested in that, because actually if you interview her, can you ask like how she found all these people in her area? Because I'm also in a very big city, and I have to give it out because I mean people are weird.
It's okay.
But
it's okay.
you know,
I think a lot of girls find each other on Twitter. Like once you start bonding with someone, like, you know, like I know you're in the South or you're in a big city. I told you I back and forth, but like when we're done, we can talk and exchange information. So I think that's what a lot of girls do. They don't always say like, hey, we're in the same state, but like behind the scenes is when people get to do it. Cause you know, like on the forums, people will join and be like, hey, I live in Cincinnati. Anybody from Cincinnati? And no one responds. Cause it's like, you don't know who the hell that is.
Me. Like I just, no, I might message you later if you're a person who's been on the forum for a while.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, me, because I don't know you. Like, it's scary. It's scary.
You have to be careful. So I think what a lot of girls are doing is they're creating their own little little circles or communities, and I love it. I love when I go on Twitter. I still find it as great marketing for customers,
I
great
agree.
marketing for other cameras, because it's like when you start building a community, the customers see it and then they want to get involved in the engagement and so
That's
forth. But
very
like Scarlet Raven, she's like one of my favorites to watch, and I'll give her like lots and lots of love, because
yeah.
she's like a machine. If you watch her and her Twitter and how she is with like constantly pumping stuff out, I'm like, girl, when do you sleep? And if she's got any automation going on, you can hardly fucking tell. I swear to God,
Right.
it's
Yeah, I've seen her work before, and yeah, she's fantastic and so positive and
mm-hmm.
just like never gets into drama. She's a really
That's
fantastic
the
person.
thing. Got to stay from the drama, because there's some people who. No, I'm not gonna lie though. Don't get me wrong. I love listening to a little bit of some tea. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
girl, I'm there like, yep, on
What
Twitter.
is it like? As long as it ain't about me, let's kiki. But as long as but I don't engage it. But I do watch it from afar. But there's some names that are constantly in it. But yeah, hers is never there. So very
Yeah,
classy, very classy.
yeah, she's always so positive and great. And like, yeah, you want to watch those people who do all that drama stuff, but you want to like support, like those people are running a business when they're not in the drama, you know,
Right.
because
Well,
like
sometimes
what big business is over here stirring up drama? Like what?
I don't know. I think sometimes the drama is a part of the business.
Sometimes I think sometimes I
Maybe
guess it
that's their
depends.
customers. Maybe I don't, because I'm like, some of these chicks I'm like are always in it. I'm like, damn, she's working. Like she must be.
Yeah,
This must be her brand or something. Like her
I
customers
hope
must love
so.
this shit, because she's
I
like
hope
this.
so.
These people are always in it. But you know what I mean. But I never weigh in or anything. I have to like I just read it and then I move along. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of really cool people out there who are making really great content. Like I'll look at their little teaser clips and stuff, and it's
yeah,
like my mind is blown. Like I said, like I've been in this for a really long time, and
yeah.
I'm still like amazed at like people who just entered like a year ago, because I know I didn't really feel comfortable until I was in it, to like in my third year, and there are girls who
No.
just like boom hit the scene, and they're like got all these like high grade videos, these high definition teasers, and I'm like, damn, I need to up my game. So
Yeah,
I'm always inspired by different people.
I love it. I never see this competition. I just love it. I think it's so great. There's room for everybody. It's so
Well,
cool.
like one of the reasons I invited you before I told you, like on Twitter when I was talking to you, was that I always liked your attitude. You always seemed really positive, and you're always like super helpful. And then I've seen you just doing your thing, so I was like, man, let me invite her on. So like you are our very first guest. We're coming to a close. We're about like in 45 minutes. So
Yeah, it's
um
true. We've been just talking. Oh,
I know, like I said, it's not really a format. Like I just wanted to like test it out. And
yes, I'm excited.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, this is the very first episode of Shit Guys Say to Camgirls with Taja Ethereal. And this is Naomi Court, my first, very, very, very first co-host here. And I thought it would be great because also you are a Bolin model who's also a sponsor of this podcast. So I think we did good. I think so, right?
I think we did good. I think we said a lot of things. I don't know whether they
We
were
said
good
a
or
lot
bad.
of things.
I don't know what people can take from it, but they'll get something, I'm sure.
They will. It will. We'll see. Whatever. Because I mean, even if it's just like people who are interested about becoming a cam model, they get to see or hear different sides about it. If they're
Yeah,
customers who are potential customers who are listening to this, they'll get a good laugh,
yeah,
because then they'll start thinking about the shit that they say to us. Maybe they'll think about some of the shit they
exactly.
say. Actually, I don't want them to stop saying things to us. I want them to keep saying things so I have more material to
No,
talk about.
and it's more entertaining that way. If dudes
Yeah.
said nothing to me, like if it wasn't like the stupid stuff they said, if they didn't say stupid stuff to me, I would just be sitting there bored. So it just keeps stupid stuff. It's fun. At least it keeps me entertained. so, as I'm
So
sitting there, right? Like,
So this is the very end of our very first podcast. Shit, guys, say it to Camgirls, and thank you so much,
well,
Naomi.
oh,
And I will be in touch probably right after the podcast to like talk a little bit
yes.
more. And
Okay.
you have a wonderful night, and thank you for coming on. Okay,
You too.
bye
Yay.
bye.